The man accused of shooting a Grafton police officer earlier this month has now been indicted for federal drug trafficking charges. 37-year-old Ruben Cruz is charged with several things, including possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance and use of a firearm in relation to a drug trafficking crime. Documents show Cruz has also been indicted by a South Dakota grand jury on a separate drug trafficking charge. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with officials this morning on what this now means for the case.
The defendant in this case walked into that day as an alleged drug dealer. He moved himself beyond being a conspirator, beyond being a drug dealer, a drug dealing conspirator. He moved himself, we allege, to being an attempted cop killer.
A federal drug warrant out of South Dakota is what officials say led Grafton area officers to this front door for Ruben Cruz just before midnight on August 14th. Police say Cruz fled on foot while firing several rounds at law enforcement, striking Grafton officer Lucas Campoverde at least once in the chest.
It was the first time in Grafton's history that there had been an exchange of gunfire with law enforcement.
Police say Grafton officer Casey Jones returned fire and injured Cruz, and say Jones has since been placed on administrative leave while officials continue to investigate the incident. South Dakota documents say in March, Cruz possessed more than 500 grams of a substance containing meth with intent to distribute it. But prosecutors in both North and South Dakota have agreed the North Dakota indictment will go before the one in South Dakota. And U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley went on to emphasize the importance of this case, highlighting what he described as a long last 3 months for North Dakota law enforcement.
We've had riots in downtown Fargo where men and women in uniform were pelted with bottles, with rocks. We had Officer Holte murdered in the line of duty. Deputy Nord injured in the line of duty. And now this.
Adding, if convicted, Ruben Cruz faces a mandatory minimum of 20 years in federal prison. In Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Bail has not been set yet for Cruz. Officials say a trial date has tentatively been set for November 3rd.